Good morning! Yes, it is the Rise and Grind Show, and today is a very special day. It is International Women's Day. I just made a post. I love women. Just in case you didn't know, I love women. I love what we stand for, how we do business, how we interact with our friends, and how sometimes we really do put our family first, and that's okay because somebody needs to do it. And for some reason, probably 99% of the time, it's us women that do it. And that's because we freaking are awesome. So I do love women. I think we're incredible. And I love what I do for a living, which is really letting women share their stories. So today we have an incredible show. I have guests from Calgary all the way to Ottawa. So let me show you this. Now we have one of our guests is not able to join us, but that's okay. We'll have her on another day. But we have amazing guests today. But I'm going to start with our national corporate sponsor, who is Nancy Seeger. Good morning, ladies. Look at all the people watching. All right. So before we start with Nancy, put in the comment, what does International Women's Day means to you? Who do you think about? What does it make? How does it make you feel? So share that in the comments, and we'll be bringing that up later. Good morning, Nancy. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you, Brigitte?
Yay! It's Friday.
Oh, come on. You're an entrepreneur. You work every day.
I really do. Like I always say, I love being an entrepreneur because I pick whichever 16 hours a day I want to work.
So true. So
tell me, because you're a national corporate sponsor, and how do you like women in business, how they do business differently, and what does International Women's Day means to you?
Well, to me, it really means empowerment. It's about the whole movement to make women more comfortable in their own choices and make them really standing out and getting bold. So I love International Women's Day because that's everything I stand for. I've worked, and I know you know this story, Brigitte, but when I first started my business, I gave up a corporate job as an international director of sales for a computer software company to stay home with my children. And that was my priority. But I saw so many women that struggled because their companies couldn't give them that kind of flexibility. So I only hired stay-at-home women for the first probably 6 or 8 years that I was in business. And, it worked out really well because women don't have those kind of opportunities. I think that the empowerment part of it and recognizing how much we support each other and how we do business differently, because there's a lot more relationship, there's a lot more trust, is critical. It's critical to growing economies. It's critical to growing families. It's critical to growing communities, of which Women Talk is just such a fantastic community to be part of.
I know. I love it. And I'm so excited because, well, we had a little bit of a pause at one of our chapters, which is the Ottawa chapter.
Yes.
And we are going through a switch of directors. So I have 2 of our past directors. Well, they're not really past. They're still going to be part of it because once you're part of it, you're always part of it.
Always part of it.
But we have a new leader in Ottawa, so I'm super excited. But before I bring them up, how difficult is it to run a national company that hosts events across the country like this? Have you been having fun with all of us?
Well, so for those of you who don't know, as the corporate sponsor for Brigitte, part of the things that I do is actually run the systems in the back end, all the email marketing, dabbling in her website, although I got to admit, Brigitte does 90% of that herself, and just setting things up to try and coordinate things and think of all the moving pieces. And it's not more difficult than doing it for men because I have done it for male-run organizations. What I will say is it's a heck of a lot more fun, and my purpose is to grow businesses. So, if you're just starting out with events or starting out with other things, reach out to me. I'd be happy to support you. I want to grow women businesses, and this is a perfect thing with International Women's Day. Let's see how many we can get going next year from Women Talk.
Woo woo! And just watch us grow, people. Women Talk. Give us up to a year till we have all our systems, and it's going to be a huge, huge company around North America, maybe
even around the world.
Yeah, we'll get there anyway. So, okay, let's bring up some Ottawa women because I want to. All right, so we're gonna bring. Oh shoot, I forget. This program just clicks you back in.
Just like me. That's all.
We have Liz, who will be our new director in Ottawa, and we have Lara, who was the director in Ottawa, and we have Tammy Plunkett, who's actually helped with 2 chapters, the one in Calgary and the one in Ottawa. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Liz, we're going to start with you. How excited are you to be taking over Ottawa?
Oh, I'm so very excited. My partner Penny Lee and I, we've already got everything booked up until May, so it's like we're really excited because we love connecting with women entrepreneurs. So we're glad that we get to share their stories and connect them and all that sort of thing. So yeah, we're very excited.
Now, do you find it hard to find women in Ottawa that want to share their stories?
No. No, sometimes they're a little afraid to get up there and talk, but we kind of guide them along. So, no, there's a lot of stories. And one thing I've always done with entrepreneurs is when I meet them, I ask them why and how they started their business. So it's great stories. For sure.
I know, I love it. So, Lara, how was it for you to run some Women Talk events and watching these women come up to the mic and share their stories?
But it's been amazing. And I think that I knew from the start that story is one of the ways that we all connect with each other. And, it really, getting people to come up has been not difficult, but it's been powerful. And I think a lot of the people, when they come to the event, they don't expect it to be so powerful to hear all these stories. They don't expect to have so many feelings, to have so many ways that they feel connected to other people. And regardless of what the story is, I feel like we all come out stronger and more connected after hearing them. So it's been amazing. And what I love is just the reception, right? How people come and they're like, this is what I needed. Like, this is really, it filled me up. So I think it's important to keep doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And Tammy, do you see a difference between the women in Ottawa and the women in Calgary?
Oh, yeah.
What would the difference be? Tell us a little bit, because you've lived in both places. I've only visited Ottawa the one time for the launch, so yeah. I can't say. But what do you think? How do women live their lives differently between the two cities?
I think how women live their lives differently, I think there's a cultural safety in the government work that is available in Ottawa, whereas it's much more entrepreneurial, and the drive to for entrepreneurs, it has a different feel to it out west, and it does feel a bit more like the Wild West. So that's where I see a difference. I find the women in Ottawa are a little more reserved. And I was going to say conservative, but I don't want to use that word because I don't want it to be the political conservative. It's just that they're less likely to show up in jeans and a cowboy shirt to a meeting, whereas you go to dinner here and there'll be ball gowns and cowboy boots at the same event. So it's very different. It's cool.
Yeah, it does have a very different feel in Calgary. I remember going to the theater or some fancy events, and people are so dressed down here.
Yeah,
big difference. So, Lara, what does International Women's Day means to you?
I think it's just an important day to really keep reinforcing how much we need to keep having these conversations, right? International Women's Day is about women, and I think it's important that we keep having the conversations about what still needs some work, what still needs some focus, because no matter how far we've come, I feel like every year I'm sort of realizing where there's more that needs focusing for women, how we need to help women figure out how things work for them. And I think, just as a quick example for me, what I, feel like I heard for years and years is women can make it as a business owner. Women can make it in the workforce if you're a little bit more like a man. So lean into all your man sort of traits, and that's how you're going to get success. And what I think we need to keep talking about more now is how women can be extraordinarily successful as women, right? Like, don't feel like you have to be more like a man to be successful. Like, let's go show them how it's done. And maybe some of these men who are like hustle harder, work, need to slow it back down a little bit too.
I totally agree. I think we just need more feminine energy. And that's whether you're a man or a woman. I think a lot of us have lived in a real masculine, like, go and be hard and compete. And you know what? Being more in a little bit more in a feminine energy and caring and nurturing is not a bad thing.
Absolutely. We need the balance of both, right? And I don't think we all need to have this sort of planning, control, and anyway, we need both.
Yeah. What about you, Liz? What does International Women's Day means to you?
Oh, for me, it's all about celebrating whatever your successes are. And you know what? People forget about the small successes. There's so much comparison about all the big successes and the big things that have happened. But remembering all those small successes, those are what get us to move forward, and not forgetting where we were, right? And because it's all about growth, and that's both personal and professional. And making sure that, we celebrate each other, we support each other, just, getting together and creating those collaborative celebrations, even, outside of the business stuff. It's huge. I think we need to make sure that we need to do the whole rah, this is what I've done, no matter what it is that you've done.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, Tammy? What does International Women's Day means to you?
Well, it's evolving for me as my role as an LGBTQ advocate evolves. I am looking more into the masculine energy and the feminine energy, and not necessarily the bits we're born with, because a transgender woman needs to be recognized as much as anyone else on today because of that female energy. And I want more opportunities available to everyone. All genders need to be recognized as well. And I'm still a fierce feminist. I wrote a blog about my youngest son, Anderson, telling me that he's not a feminist and he doesn't believe in feminism. And my reaction to that, it's quite funny. You have to read it.
Did you lock him up in the bathroom for 5 days?
Rod backed up when he was like, "Oh my God, this is
I could see your husband was like, "Oh my God, I'm getting out of here. This is gonna get ugly, and maybe I should have a boy with me."
Yeah, so it's on my Facebook profile. It's at tammyplunkett.com if you want to read it. It's a refreshing way of looking at feminism.
Love it. Yeah, and I think feminism is changing.
Mm-hmm.
We've all realized that burning our bras was not such a good idea, especially when you're a D cup. So, I think it's taken on a little bit of a softer approach.
Yeah.
More of a feminine energy approach.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I know for myself, like I said, I just love women. I love hanging out and when we go to an event, everybody is hugging and cheering for it. Like it has a very different feel. Now I lived in, I was a hockey player for 25 years. So it was very different energy, very different kind of women I used to hang out with. And I love it. I just think we're so fabulous. And we talk about, you'll start talking to a woman and right away the pictures of the kids and grandkids come out. And that's just how we are. And I love it. I just think women are incredible, and women make incredible business women. And we need to step up and go for it and not be so afraid. So we have sort of a mini relaunch, I guess, happening for Women Talk Ottawa. So Liz, we're going to give you the podium here and tell us about where you're relaunching and what's going to happen and how excited you are.
Yeah, it's really cool. We're actually going to be holding the event at a Patty Boland's. It's a pub restaurant sort of thing. The owner is totally excited and looking to help us build this thing. So we have the whole upstairs, and we're going to make sure that that thing is packed tight.
How many people do you fit in there?
I believe he said 7,200. Like it's kind of a weird shape, but you can fit a ton, because Penny Lee and I did an event in there a couple of years ago, and it was fabulous. It was great. You could kind of mingle and get up front and everything else. But what's really cool is that we're excited that the ladies that are coming to talk, we've actually decided that we're going to create themes every month and have our charity of choice actually fall within that theme, so we can bring the resources to the women and get them introduced so that they know that they're here in the city. So we're rather excited. Penny Lee's been busy. I think we've got everything booked up till May, and getting connected to some great resources, which is always awesome. That are charities here in Ottawa.
So what was calling you to Women Talk? Why do you like Women Talk? What does it mean to you?
Well, I'm all about building community. I've been, since 2008, I've been on this journey of personal development, and which has, to me, when you get yourself right, your business just goes right as well. But building communities, because I mean, as entrepreneurs, quite often we do things alone. I was a single mom, and building that community was really important, because it's really challenging to be a single mom. And when I started building that community as single moms, and Penny Lee and I got graduate building, I mean, it was just, what I really loved about Women Talk was that, it's not just Ottawa. We can just reach across Canada. And I mean, I've already started connecting with women in Nova Scotia and BC and that sort of thing. So I'm very excited, because this year I plan to travel Canada to meet all these awesome women, and it's getting everybody connected and getting it from behind the screens of the computers and whatnot, because we get so disconnected and we're so isolated that things seem so different, and I think connecting and what I like is the personal stories, so that people get to know each other on a different level other than just the whole business thing. I mean, it's
like stories, right? It's like it's an ancient, like it's so old, like people have done it for thousands and thousands of years. But it's funny, because that's the thing that's different about Women Talk is it is truly about building a strong community. The stories are not about business. They can be a little bit, but it's like personal stories. And we give the spotlight to often women who have never been in front of a mic and say, we are here for you. We are here to listen to your story. And that's life-changing for some people.
Oh, for sure. Because I know when I spoke last year, I mean, just having people see that, I've had my story too, and mine was a money story. And they came up to me and went, oh my God, you know what? I'm there where you were talking about, and seeing that you've journeyed there and you've succeeded and come out of that is, gives them hope and whatnot. And I see it time and time again with all the different speakers. It's like, women know that they're not alone. They're not the only ones that things are happening to, and it gives them hope, and connecting with others and not being afraid and being isolating themselves. They get out there and they connect with these women, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and what I love about it, like, you're really teaching. When you're sharing your story, you're actually teaching people, and it's such a much better way to learn when it's mixed in with a personal story. Now, Nancy, what do you like about Women Talk? What attracted you to this format?
Well, this storytelling format is so critical to business because people buy from people, and it's how we get to know each other. And like you say, it's an ancient methodology of communicating and sharing and building community. But for me personally, it was the thing that drew me the most, besides you, Brigitte, of course, was the community, right? It is a strong, strong, powerful community of women. And I don't think there's anything stronger out there. When enough women get together and support each other, they're going to change the world.
I know. I just think I love it. So, Tammy and Lara, you're stepping down. Are you going to still come and attend and come and share stories?
Of course. I'm actually going to Cochrane next Tuesday to share my story there. Well, I'll do the motivational talk. But yeah, you're not getting rid of me that easy.
No way. I love it. And Lara, you did share a story, didn't you? Because I know like you got involved to help us get this started in Ottawa. And I was so grateful because, well, Tammy was from Ottawa, but she wasn't there anymore. So I just want to personally really, really thank you and tell you how grateful I am that you helped us make that leap to Eastern Canada, and Ottawa was such a beautiful city to do it in. So did you actually share a story?
I did share a story in November, I think, right? Tammy was there in town, and so that particular month I did my story, and I'm still planning to be there at the relaunch. I'm going to MC. So I will be there, but I'm stepping a little bit back, and Liz and Penny Lee are going to run the show, and then I can come in and enjoy the community.
How was it like for you to share your story in front of other women like this?
Well, I mean, that's a thing I've done a bit more than I think the average person already. I've been creating opportunities. I mean, I started with a personal blog when I was doing the online stuff, right? So my very first step into having an online presence was with a personal blog. So I've been telling personal stories for a long time, but that's one of the reasons I knew this was so important and that I needed to help encourage other women to share theirs, because we have so much in common. And the things that I've always heard over the years about how and it doesn't even have to be the epic story. It's just something that was meaningful to me that somebody else hears and it means a lot to them. And so, my story that I shared was all about the ADHD diagnosis and journey for me, but also in my family. And the amount of comments and emails and messages I got after asking me questions, looking for resources, saying, oh my gosh, that sounds like me, right? Like knowing when we talk about that kind of stuff, people feel more like, maybe I'm not so strange. Maybe it's okay that I feel this way. Maybe it's not a bad thing to want to figure out more about who I am. So that's why we need to keep having these conversations, because we have a tendency to sit at home thinking we're the only one feeling a certain way or we're the worst of something. And like, as a coach who has conversations with people day in and day out, I feel like one of the most common things I'm saying is, trust me, you are not the only one who feels like this. And so we need to be having these conversations so people realize they're not alone.
I totally agree. And every time somebody shares a talk, you make a difference in somebody's life. Always. You're not the only one that gets. Hey, we have Penny Lee. I see she's joining from her car. Let me bring Penny Lee up, and so we get to meet her. Let me see here. I am so impressed with myself and all the button clicking I'm doing right now. It's actually working really good. Hello, Penny Lee. Nice meeting you. We have never talked. I have not met you yet.
Yes. Hi, Brigitte. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. You're sounding great. So where the heck are you? You look like you're in the car.
I am in the car. I'm a very busy lady, but I try and manage to get all the things I need done. And I had to go for an ultrasound for my knee. And so here I am in the car after my appointment, hopping on. And you know what? Liz would be so proud of me because I am not the best with technology. And I managed to download this thing and get on the phone and be live with you.
Look at you go. Okay, so I'm bringing Liz back on board here so she can participate in the conversation. But I'm going to share a quick story with you because I see that you are in your car. Oops, hold on a second here. I almost did it without clicking the wrong button. Tammy, I put together a anthology. We had 30 women in there, and Tammy was part of my journey. She helped me create this great anthology. And so when I put it together, I was going to make the announcement through a live Facebook group. And then I get a call from my surgeon that I have a doctor's appointment that very time, like half an hour later, and the hospital was like way down the street. So I did it from the back seat of my car.
There you go.
It was hysterical, and it had everybody so excited. So I just think technology is amazing. All the crazy things we can do now. So good on you for joining us from the back. Well, you're not in the back seat. I literally was in the back seat of my car. There was people watching me. They probably thought, "What the heck? This woman is in the back seat on her own, just chatting."
Technology is amazing.
Remember that, Tammy?
I do. And there was rumors as to why you were in the back seat of your car. It was quite entertaining.
But I never had that many women in the backseat of my car with me. That was hysterical. Well, so are you excited, Penny, about March 19th?
I am very excited. You know, it's quite interesting. Liz has been talking to me a little bit about this whole opportunity, and I absolutely love hearing women's stories. I love gathering people. I love getting to know new people. And like Lara said, you know, that's the most common thing is people just want to know that they're not alone, that other people have gone through something similar. And to be able to bring that together and give people an arena where they can have a voice is just super exciting for me.
So what does International Women's Day means to you?
Oh my goodness, International Women's Day is fantastic. It's the power of all women coming together and the energy of women working together. Actually, I was in at the X-ray and ultrasound, and I gave both the ladies a little token just saying, you know, Happy International Women's Day. Make sure you pass it on to other people. They were so blown away.
I like you. You're awesome.
Thank you. I like me too.
That's great. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I just want to bring Lara and Nancy back. So I'm going to say bye to Liz. Have a fabulous March 19th, and we'll have you back on the show because I want to learn a little bit more about you and what you're all about. So thank you for joining us today, Liz.
Well, thanks for having me.
And Tammy, same with you. Thank you. We're going to keep Penny on a little bit longer, but thank you for joining us, Tammy, and have a fabulous, fabulous day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
All right. And let me bring Nancy back on and Lara so we get to say proper goodbye. I'm telling you, we had like 5 people. So that's a busy show, but it is International Women's Day. So we got to bring as many women as we can.
And you're a typical woman. You're multitasking.
I really, really am. I have like my computer, my laptop, my phone. I got so many moving parts. So Lara, are you going to be there? Are you able to make it on March 19th?
Yeah, I'm going to be the MC, so I will definitely be.
Oh, nice. So if you would like to come to any Women Talk across Canada, come and apply to share your story. You just have to go to womentalk.ca/apply and come and share your story. And you can share your story right across Canada from Vancouver to Ottawa and maybe go meet Lara. So thank you for joining us today, Lara.
Thank you for having us.
It was fabulous. And Penny Lee, it was so nice meeting you. Oh, my cat is like jumping on my desk and getting all excited. Live shows, right? Thank you for joining us, Penny Lee. It was fantastic meeting you, and I can't wait. I'm hoping to come to Ottawa in the next few months here so I can attend an event in the new location with the new directors. Because I haven't met Liz either. So it's going to be really, really cool meeting Liz. Actually, I'm going to bring Liz on board because I want to give you ladies high five for the show. So We are going to do, all right, you ready? Hey, high five, ladies.
Hey,
Have a
high five.
It's going to be awesome. Woo woo. And
Yay.
Nancy, thank you for joining us.
Always happy to be here and support women, Bridget. You know that.
Wonderful. So have a great International Women's Day. And see, now I clicked the wrong one. There we go. Oh, there I am. Have a great International Women's Day. Enjoy the day. Go and tell a woman in your life how much you appreciate her and how much she means to you, because we all need to hear positive feedback as women. So, well, men too, but you know, it is International Women's Day. So have a great day, and we will see you next Friday morning, 9 a.m. Mountain Time.
Thank you. Bye,
Thank you.
Bridget.
Bye.
Nice meeting you.